Hey guys, and welcome to this update video with me, Samuel Ganji. Now, I know update videos are not everyone's thing, but if you are new to my channel, you've not watched many update videos, please watch this video. It's very important. It'll tell you what's going on, so I don't have to get you comments in the comment section saying, what are you doing? Where is this? Why haven't you done that yet? What the hell is going on here? It just makes it easier if you can watch this video. I would love to hear you guys' comments about the things I'm going to be talking about, but make sure you stay until the end of the video because there's a lot of things to go over today. But yeah, I always think these update videos are important because, you got to communicate. I think as someone on here, it's always best to be communicating with people who are watching your videos, so you guys always know what's going on. Not everyone likes to communicate, of course. Talking to people, no one got time for that. But, luckily for me, when I'm talking to you guys, technically I'm talking to no one. I'm just talking to a computer screen. So yeah, not really talking to anyone. So win-win-win-win-win, I guess. If you don't like communication. Personally, I love communicating, so actually it's not a win for me. But I digress. I'm rambling on. I know I ramble too much. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Tell me in the comment section. Do you think that's a good thing? A bad thing? I can never tell. I'll try. If people don't like it, I can try and ramble less. But if people like it, maybe I can ramble more. But yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. Let's jump into what is going on with the schedule and the series so you know exactly what to expect over the next couple of months maybe. There's some interesting things, there's some different things going on around the channel, hopefully upcoming, we'll see. But number one, the Osgrey series. Obviously, the Osgrey series got to part 60, episode 60, number 60, whatever you want to call it, and we finished the series. Really enjoyable series. Sad to see it go, but it was on an older version of the mod. I did feel it was kind of frustrating to keep going back and forth between different versions of CK2 and different versions of the mod. It just kind of adds up and gets a bit annoying. It's just a little thing, just a tiny annoyance. Not a big thing, but it was a good time to end it. I felt like we'd gone quite far of it. Obviously, it's been on for quite a while. And yeah, I think it went quite nicely. And I think you guys actually really enjoyed it. The feedback for that series has been really good. Actually, at the moment in time, it's one of the... It's less viewed than other series at the moment. That might just be because it's on episode 60. So obviously that means, people kind of... The further you go in, the less views you tend to get. But even then, if I have a look at like the first video for the Osgrey series, 23,000 views for the first episode. But then the Doom has like double that. That's insane when you think about it. And that's much younger. I'm not sure what when I say I'm not sure why, I'm going to guess it's probably because there's a dragon. People see the dragon, they see the Doom, and they think, okay, I like this. I like dragons. Dragons, click, click, click. That's just what we do. Well, with the Osgrey series, for people maybe who only watch a TV show maybe, or haven't read the Dunk and Egg novels, maybe it just is not one that pops out to a lot of people. So that's probably why. So if you haven't watched it, or you don't really know much about the Osgreys, I would suggest go watch it. I think a lot of people really like that series. I would say at the moment, it was, at this time, with these 4 series, it was probably the most popular one when it came to how much people liked it. That was my opinion. At least that's the kind of feeling I got from people in the comments section. So if you haven't, go watch that one. Very good, but it has ended. So you're probably asking, what's going to happen? Is there going to be a new series to replace it? What's going on? And there will be a new season to replace it very soon. And you're probably then asking, what is it? I have asked my Patreon supporters to choose, I gave them some choices like, Europa Universalis 4, Crusader Kings 2 Vanilla, Stellaris. I decided not to do another Game of Thrones mod series because we have quite a few Game of Thrones related stuff going on at the moment, and I do love them, and I know you guys love them as well. But I feel like it's good to have something else, at least one other series, to be something a little bit different, just so it doesn't feel a bit stagnating. For you guys when you're watching, it can get a bit samey. I feel like with too much of it. And also for me playing, I can get a bit bored and frustrated by it feeling kind of samey to me sometimes. And so I think it's good to add something a little bit different into play so that I don't get frustrated and just bored and don't pay attention. And for you guys to feel like there's something a little bit different on the channel for when you want it. Obviously, you don't have to watch it. I also asked my Patreon supporters to vote on what the exact series would be. They chose Crusader Kings 2. And so I gave them a selection of different ideas that popped into my head. I went on CK2, found a few ideas for another series, and I asked them. But there's been a problem, and that's why the series has not come out yet. It probably should have come out today, but it's not come out just yet because there was a slight problem. So far at the moment, there's a draw between 2 different ones. And so that makes it a little difficult for me to choose. So just to clarify, if you guys are a Patreon supporter, please go on to my Discord. I think also I put it on the Patreon page. It should link, you can click on, if you go on the VIP section in Discord or onto the Patreon, there should be a place for you to vote. So if you've not done that and you are a Patreon person, please vote. At the moment, there's 2 of them drawing. Try and, get rid of deadlock, so that way one of them can win, and that way then I can choose which series. What I'm going to do, though, is that maybe all the patrons who wanted to vote have voted, so I may have to choose one of them. So I'm going to ask you guys to tell me in the comment section, which one of the 2 series would you like to see? And obviously I'm going to tell you in a second. Just tell me in the comment section which one you'd like to see and why. And so if in the next maybe day or 2, if the deadlock is still there, I will choose based upon the comment section. The 2 choices that are winning on the Patreon vote were number 1. A reconquest of Spain in 1066. Now, the reason I chose 1066 was because I find in the earlier scenarios for Crusader Kings 2, I don't think it's as interesting. You got like, if you start in the first one, I know a lot of people usually like to start in the earliest ones possible, but you got Asturias and the Umayyads. And it's kind of a bit dull. There's only like 2 countries fighting against each other. It's going to get really samey, very old, very quickly. But in 1066, it's kind of even. Both sides of a lot of countries. It's probably more sided towards the Muslims in Spain. But we're going to play as a Christian nation and try and reconquer Spain, recreate the history. And I think also it's kind of a nice, in a way, shall we say, spiritual successor to the Visigoth series that I did. A while back, I tried to, recreate a Visigothic kingdom. And one of our biggest aims, like a, sort of like extra aim, was to try and reconquer Spain and get back our Visigothic brothers, but we never got to finish that one off. So I feel this would be a nice sort of spiritual successor to that. But that'll be set in 1066. The second choice is one to form Greece or Macedon. This scenario is in like 1208. It's something around that time period. And the reason I've chosen a later time period is because I don't normally play a later time period, so I thought it would be something a little bit different. Also, there's no Byzantine Empire, I think, if I remember correctly. I think it's the first one where the Latin Empire appears. So that means you haven't got to compete with that, because again, that area of the world in earlier scenarios gets quite dull. It just is the Byzantine Empire, basically. But in the later scenarios, it's a lot more interesting, a lot more small places. So it might be fun to play as Athens or one of the other smaller nations around there, or maybe just a count in that area, and try to form our own kingdom of Greece. Or maybe Macedon. I haven't decided just yet. That was kind of the main idea. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section. Which of those 2 would you prefer to see? And if there's still a deadlock, I will choose from the comment section. I did even put up, actually, an After the End mod, because I know a lot of people asked me to play that. I even put one for that, a Mormon series, because I went to see the Book of Mormon not long ago, and it was absolutely amazing. God, the guys from South Park are just geniuses. That was such a good show. I'm not really a musical person, but it made me feel like I was a musical person. I was like, I want to go see some other bloody musicals. If they're as good as this, I want to see them. They're probably not. I mean, I know there are some classic, but obviously they won't be the same. They're not really a comedy, most of them. But I don't know, I really enjoyed that. So I kind of had a feeling of being a Mormon for some reason. I just wanted to play Mormons. So I put that out there, but it didn't get enough votes. But one of those 2 other ones, there will be fine. Now, when it comes to the other series, obviously, we have the Danny series, which I've been enjoying. It's very, shall we say, it's very different to what I thought it might be. When I first started that series, I had all these different plans. I was like, in my head going, oh, think of all the possibilities. We could marry this person, have kids with this person. We could go this way, that way, conquer from there, ally with this person. And in the end, the game itself, due to its RNG, kind of destroyed all of that. All my little plans, I was thinking, oh, I bet she would do this. It kind of destroyed that, though I do feel we have kept to what she would do in the situations that have arisen for us. So I'm quite happy with that, and I feel it's kind of a little bit different from what I thought, and I like that, actually, in some ways. It's our own story. So I have been enjoying that series. Like I said at the beginning, though, it could be a short series. I've not decided just yet. Maybe we'll play just as Danny, maybe we'll play as Danny and one generation, so whoever inherits whatever she has by when she dies. So that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm also thinking of maybe just making it into a staple having short series in the Game of Thrones mod, because there are so many characters and scenarios to play as that people are always asking me to play as. They always ask me to, do Jon Snow, do the Martells, do a Greyjoy, play in the Dance of Dragons as one of the different sides, play as Aegon the Conqueror, blah, 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 blah. It's always, major characters or major scenarios from the books or TV shows. And I really do want to do them. I enjoy doing those little scenarios, especially when you're playing like a Dany or something, because you have so much to do and there's so many things that could happen or go wrong. And just playing as that one character is really fun. If you did one like Osgrey and you played one generation, it's not going to be as fun. But with these main characters or interesting people during certain scenarios, it can be really fun. So I'm thinking about making it into a staple, and it would also then allow me to go revisit characters we've played as before. A lot of people always ask me to play as characters I've done series as a long time ago, such as Robb Stark or Jon Snow or Renly. And I would love to revisit those things, but I just don't want to put in the time when I have done them before, and there's so many other ones I haven't done yet. So doing short series would be a great way of doing that, so maybe just play as that character or play as also their child. We'll see. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. At the moment, I said that's just in my head. I haven't decided. It's just something that's been going around in my head that could be kind of good, actually. That could be kind of a fun thing to do, always keeping it fresh. So I'd love to hear your thoughts more on that in the comment section. That would be awesome. Then it comes to the other two series. We have the Royce series, which I have talked about in the last couple of parts. I did state that I was feeling like, shall we say, it was getting a bit stale, and that we'd learned a lot from this mod. Obviously, the Seven Kingdoms mod is my first series in this mod. Really enjoyed it. It's something very different, and still feels a bit familiar. It hasn't got all the extras from the Game of Thrones mod, but that's to allow it to be a bit more, shall we say, stable, which I think in a way is a nice thing. They've chosen a very unique scenario, so I've really enjoyed that. Now, I am going to end it. It did seem like in the comment section people kind of agreed with me. It was a good time to end it. I think we'll probably defeat the Arryns, and once they're gone, I haven't recorded that yet. Once they're gone, I'll probably end it there. So probably not many parts left in that. That will also be replaced, but we will do another series in the Seven Kingdoms mod. But it will be multiplayer. So I'm going to be doing a Seven Kingdoms mod multiplayer game with people supporting me on Patreon. So again, if you're someone on Patreon who is supporting me, please go to my Discord and tell me what your name is on Patreon. I can add you in as a VIP slot, and you can join us in that community game later on. It will begin on Saturday. So this Saturday at about 4 PM London time, we'll be doing a multiplayer game. I will also be recording it. I'm not going to stream it because I'm a bit worried, obviously, because Seeker 2 has some instability as it is, and my internet is not always the greatest, I've found. So I'd rather just be able to, have a good game on multiplayer and record it, then, try and play multiplayer and stream it, and then, there's just sometimes a little bit of a problem, just because we're also streaming. And I'd like to interact with the people I'm playing with a bit more, if may be. So that will be recorded. I think it's about 5 or 6 of us at the moment. I think it's 6 of us at the moment signed up. Remember, obviously, you need to be able to make that time. If you do miss this week or other weeks, don't worry about it. You can always join whenever you want, as long as you're a Patreon supporter, like I said before, because otherwise I'm going to get flooded with people. And also, it's to give something back to those who are, supporting the channel even more. But yeah, so that's important, obviously, and I need people I can trust. So there will be certain rules to it. Obviously, there'll be certain things about how we play the game, like you can't just assassinate someone's family till they're dead. But there will also be some sort of recording rules, like, don't just talk when other people are talking, try and respect each other when they're talking, that type of thing. Not sure if I'm going to put, you have to play roleplay. I feel that's a bit silly, especially in the Seven Kingdoms mod. I don't feel you need to do that as much, because everyone's going to be quite spread out, making their own kingdoms. It could be really fun in a multiplayer setting, so I'm actually quite looking forward to that. So when I record it, I will also be uploading it to YouTube. Maybe, I guess, over the week. Yeah, and then the next Saturday. So that means if you do watch it and you were a Patreon person, but you couldn't make it the first week or the second week, or you didn't think you wanted to jump in and you watched it, you're like, oh, that was pretty good. You can then join later and you can just jump into another house. But it has to be smaller than other people's, houses, I guess. We'll make a little rule like that if you join late. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be really fun. Hopefully things go well. If obviously the Crusader Kings 2 is just being unstable, we're going to play other games. Maybe we'll change the game every few weeks, but obviously we'll continue the campaign each week, and we'll play for about 3 or 4 hours, I guess. I think that's a good amount of time. So try and make sure if you are joining that you can make all that time. So that will be replaced with a multiplayer series in the mod. Looking forward to that actually quite a lot. And then we get to the last one, the Doom. Now, the Doom series, I've really enjoyed it, you know, because we had the whole unique scenario at the beginning. Really fun, making our own kingdom. But I don't know, personally for me right now, I feel like this one has gotten kind of stale like the Royce one. And these two obviously did become quite similar, you know, both having large empires, kingdoms, whatever you want to call them, but also having lots of rebellions and stuff because of all the multiple cultures. And I don't know, maybe you know, here's something to point out. What you'll notice is if I'm getting bored or I'm overconfident because it's getting a bit too easy, you'll notice that when it comes to war and other things, I just don't care. You'll notice, like, for example, in the Doom, you know, I'll just charge my men through attrition. I'll be like, oh, we lost men to attrition. Oh, well. You know, I won't even try and micromanage it that much. I'll just delete the men on the islands and stuff because I know we're going to win because we have so much power and dragons at the moment. And that's not meant to say that, you know, I don't care. It doesn't always mean, it might just mean that it's got too easy. You'll notice that. That's usually what's going on. That's why I normally prefer when we're going from small to big or it's a difficult scenario so I can micromanage it. But I feel like with the Doom, it's gone kind of stale. And I feel like what's going to happen is if I try and concentrate too much on it, we're just going to, you know, use Dragon Conquest to conquer the world. And then we'll just have rebellions constantly. Or it could go the other way and that will just completely fall apart. And we'll have to rebuild it again. Which actually, that sounds more fun to me, actually. I'd rather the whole empire fell apart and we had to rebuild it what our father or grandfather had. That could be kind of fun. But I'm not sure that's going to happen. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in this video, actually, in the comment section. Do you think we should find an ending for the Doom series and try and replace it with something else? And if we did, would you like another Game of Thrones series? Or would you like something different? Like I say, because we would have a Seven Kingdoms mod series, multiplayer. We'd have Game of Thrones mod series and maybe, you know, sort of short series of it continuing from Dany. We'll have a Crusader Kings 2 series as well. Do you want another Crusader Kings 2 series, or would you guys prefer to see something else like Europa Universalis 4 or Stellaris? In the Patreon vote, Stellaris did come second, or maybe some other games entirely. I'd love to hear your thoughts now, and love to hear your thoughts on channel overall. Because obviously for me, it's very important to get feedback. I'd love to know what you guys would like to see in the future moving forward. Personally for me, I feel like the Doom needs to find an... Personally for me, I'm getting slightly bored of it. I would like to see it finding an ending, but it feels like there's not going to be any end in sight unless we create one. Personally, that's what I feel. Then again, obviously things could completely change. It could get really exciting really soon, but I don't know. I just felt these two were too similar, and that's why I got that kind of feeling. That's just my opinion. Now, overall, that's really it when it comes to schedule and whatnot. Some exciting things, some fun things. The multiplayer thing, I think I'm really looking forward to. If we do the Dany Shaw thing, I think that's a really fun idea. But hopefully you will see the new Crusader Kings 2 series very soon, in the next few days maybe, as long as that vote gets deadlocked or I check out these comments. But most important, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Doom series overall. It does get a lot of views, actually. It does do quite well since it's on the number 33 part. It does do particularly well, but I don't know if people are enjoying it as much as it was in the beginning, so I'm not sure if it's time for us to move on or not. But yeah, 33 parts, that's quite a lot, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's actually quite a lot. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and what you'd like to see over that. The last thing I'd like to just point out, I want you guys not to be needing to ask, like, where is this? When are you going to do this? You promised this. And one thing I promised was, as you can see, we did the Game of Thrones The Telltale series. I did do also The Walking Dead Season 1 and 2. And a lot of people really enjoyed them, and I loved playing them. Some Telltale games are really fun, and The Walking Dead Season 1 and 2 was really good. But Season 3 came out, and I did try to record it. I did put up some videos, but the recording seemed to malfunction, and I lost a ton of video. Not exactly sure what happened, and so I had to put it on hold, shall we say, until I could fix it. And I kept saying I was going to go back to it, and the reason I never was able to go back to it is because it never seemed to fix. I tried recording it again, and it happened again, and again, it happened again. And it was so frustrating. And I tried 3 different recording software to do it. All 3 of them, for some reason, don't like The Walking Dead Season 3. The Walking Dead Season 1 and 2 and Game of Thrones, perfectly fine when it came to the Telltale engine. But I don't know what they've done to the engine in Season 3 of The Walking Dead for their series. So for some reason, none of my recording software like it, and it always at some point will just malfunction. And that then ruins it, because I have to keep going back and editing it, and then I know what's going to happen next. And for me, that ruins the whole point of the Telltale games. I don't want to know what's going to happen. I want you guys to see my real initial reaction, my real thoughts, because I thought it was really fun, actually, when I look back at the Game of Thrones one. There were some things where I'm thinking, yeah, I don't like that person. I bet they're going to betray us, because that's obviously what you feel the Game of Thrones people want you to think, and then it doesn't happen, and I'm like, obviously that's my fault for being stupid, possibly, but I feel like, you know, it's nice to have those kind of thoughts and feelings, like that sort of in-depth, immersive look at these characters, why I don't like them, why I do like them, rather than me knowing if they're going to do something good or bad later. Again, that's not how I like to play those games, it's not how I think they should be recorded, either. So that is the reason why season 3 has never come back. And I've been trying to fix it for months. Nothing's ever worked. So that's why you've not seen that come back. And I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to fix it, from what I can tell, with the resources that I have. But yeah, so if you don't see that come back, that is just because of that. It's something I don't seem to be able to fix, and it's just annoyed the hell out of me. And it's sat there right in my Steam. You know, I've got Walking Dead Season 3 in my Steam, sat there waiting for me to play. I've not been able to play it to see what happens. I don't know what happens to Clementine. And that really bugs me. That's really bugged me. I don't want to play it though until I can record it. But yeah, so that's what's going on with that. Other than that, I think that's basically everything about the channel. This is actually a much longer video than it probably should have been. So I do apologize for wasting your time. Hopefully my voice wasn't too annoying, but yeah. And as you guys know, I'm terrible when it comes to ending videos because oh wait, actually there is one more thing actually I was thinking. I was actually thinking about doing another new series. I'm sorry, this is all about new series. Like I said, I just want you guys getting a depth look into my mind for the channel right now. One thing I've been thinking about is possibly doing a series called A Paradox of Thoughts. Now that title actually I've had around for a while, since I probably began. But I was thinking about doing a series of a paradox of thoughts, or short, we'll call it a pot. And what it would be a series where I would discuss things that I've had on my mind or that I'm thinking about. So for example, it could be about Game of Thrones, plots, or TV show, or books, or anything new that's going on in the world, maybe some or maybe some YouTube stuff going on, or something to do with the Paradox games, like, you know, Paradox Interactive, maybe their DLC policy. I know that was a big talking point a few months ago. But I was wondering if that's something you guys would even care about. It is listening to my point of view on things, or things that are annoying me at the moment. Is that something you guys even want to listen to? Because I don't want to waste my time doing that, making myself look stupid, and then you guys don't even care. So I'd love to know what you guys think about something like that. Just something different. Obviously, you don't have to watch it. Just something different on the channel to make it a bit more, shall we say, not talking about having to talk about games. I know, because I always try and add things in my games. I'm talking about things like my opinions on characters or opinions on TV show and the book. And you don't always have time to do that because you're trying to concentrate on the game as much. It would allow me then to put my perspective on those things a bit more. I'm not sure if that's something people would like to see. Also, I am trying to work on creating my own thumbnail kind of setup. You know, something that a distinguishing thumbnail kind of brand that can go across all my videos. So that's something I'm looking into, and that's also something that might be keeping back the new series. Cause I want to like to get that finished before I start some new series. So that's actually something else where you might hopefully see some proper thumbnails going up, have some sort of theme or pattern to them for across all the series. Something that represents me, and that means you see it and you go, okay, that's NG. That's NGParadox's video. I know that. I know that smug little picture and voice anywhere. That bastard. That's what you'll say. But yeah, I'll see you guys. I never know how to end these videos. So yeah, love ya, and wubba lubba dub dub. Actually, there was one more point I want to point out. It was really weird because obviously the Book of Mormon. I just really weird thought that the song in the Book of Mormon, You and Me, but mostly me. Maybe most of you probably don't know that song. I don't know if you've watched the Book of Mormon. I was thinking of doing a parody of it with Jon Snow and Samuel Tarly. I just thought that'd be a hilarious parody because I feel like you could change some of the words in there and it would fit really well. You know, change words to like, I know in the original Book of Mormon they say like, every hero needs a sidekick, every captain needs a maid, aye, every dinner needs a side dish on a slightly smaller plate. I was thinking you could change those lyrics to something like, you know, every knight needs a squire, every Lord Commander needs a steward, aye, every Ramsay Bolton needs a reek who might be castrated. You could change kind of the words a little bit to kind of fit, you know, Jon Snow and Samwell Tarly. It's about, you know, two guys working together to make the world a better place, but one of them is just really good at everything, and the other's kind of gets in the way. I thought it actually fit really well, so I'm trying to think about possibly doing that, but we'll see. That was just something in my head. Yeah. But apologies for hurting your ears there. I wasn't trying to sing there, just trying to get it out, but I didn't want to sing properly because I don't want to embarrass myself. But now I've embarrassed myself. Oh my god. Hey, Bubble, say goodbye. Oh, hey, Butter. He's jumped up to say bye. Butter, say bye-bye. He doesn't want to talk. He's a Lannister supporter, so you know there's Lannister supporters always are just they're never good. Are you, Butter? No, you're not. You're just a cute Lannister supporter, aren't you? You love the Cleganes and their doggies, don't you? Yeah. I'm surprised you don't like... Oh my god, they're Ramsay supporters. That's why. Because the whole point... The reason I think they're Lannister supporters is because my dog Butter, he seems to always bark when it comes to Starks and stuff. Maybe he's actually a Ramsay Bolton supporter because Ramsay Bolton likes dogs. You sick little... I'm actually grabbing him now. You sick... You can't see. This is now getting weird. Okay, I better go before I just embarrass myself more. And you, Butter, yeah? And you, good boy. I'll see you then.